Hello and welcome to this week's podcast. I'm Mod Sky and I'm here with Mod Balance, and this week we're going to be talking about Community Exposed. So we're going to reveal all the secrets about community. So Mod Balance, say hi.
Hello, I'm Mod Balance, I'm the head of RuneScape community, and this is an interesting podcast really, isn't it? It's Community Exposed.
Yes.
That's a good title, and I feel like we're about to reveal the deepest and darkest secrets about the RuneScape players. Well, I don't really think I've got many insights about that. I just go with the flow, really.
Well, we'll soon find out, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so, I'm thinking so.
How long have you been at Jagex for?
Been at Jagex for about 2 years now, so
wow.
I'm a relative newbie to the company, because you've got the likes of Mod Ash and Mod Maz, for instance, who have been here for years and years and years, and I'm a little noob.
Aww.
I've been playing RuneScape for ages, though, that's the thing. I've been playing since 2004, on and off, obviously, but you can never quit RuneScape.
So you're a veteran?
I wouldn't say veteran in that I'm rubbish, but I've played for a while.
Great. And what do you do in Jagex? So you've already said that you're the head of community. What does that entail?
So I'm part of the community team, as you might imagine, and essentially we're the bridge between the players and the studio. So let's say it's update day. The players are commenting on the forums, on Reddit, on Twitter, on Facebook, across the whole of the internet, essentially. And it's our job to collect all that feedback and to deliver that to our developers. And equally, when the developers have got some feedback for the players or are asking some questions, it's up to us to phrase that in the right way, make sure it goes out to the right people, and we're the go-between, if you like.
That's great. So how many people are in the team?
So really, I like to think that the community team is as big as the company, because everyone really should be doing the job of a community manager. However, if you really think about it, the people in our team, in the community team, including you, Mod Sky, there's, I think, 7 or 8 of us now. That includes RuneScape and Old School. And we do everything from social media to like community management in the traditional sense on the forums. And equally, we do live streams, podcasts, just like this one, and loads of other stuff as well. So
what are the community team responsible for?
What are we responsible for? A heck of a lot, actually. We are responsible for a lot of things. So, as I said, like on Update Day, we'll be collecting feedback from players. We equally, outside of Update Day, we're collecting feedback from players, and that's in their game, that's on the forums, on social media. Equally, we spend a lot of time running in-game events. We help with design decisions to make sure that players feel engaged with the content. We tend to do live streams, podcasts, videos, and we also manage our volunteer moderator teams as well. So that's the player moderators and the forum moderators. I actually think we did a podcast about both of those teams a while ago, PMods Exposed and FMods Exposed.
There you go.
There you go. What a plug there, what a plug. And so they take a big chunk of our time, but they're really worthwhile because essentially the PMod team, for instance, are an additional 2,000 community champions, if you will, and they help spread the word and make sure that the community is a really safe and fun place to be.
And what would you say is the best part about being in the community team?
The best part about being in the community team has got to be being able to engage with our players every single day. I don't know anyone that can really say, oh, my job is to talk to people and play games with them and find out exactly what they're saying. It's a very rare thing to be able to say, I enjoy my job this much, because ultimately my job is just about finding out what people think.
So what's taken up most of your time at the moment?
Most of my time at the moment is taken up with things like RuneFest. That's a big time sink for us. As a team, we're in charge of organising various elements of that, like, for instance, getting the tickets out to players, selling the tickets, making sure that the events on the day look great and everything goes smoothly. So that's taking a huge amount of our time at the moment. But equally, we're spending a ton of time doing things like reporting on player feedback. So, for instance, raids, we just put together a big report on that, and that was going through all the forums, all of Reddit, all of Twitter and Facebook, and just checking to see what do players say about this, how can we improve it, what was the best bits, and then the developers can hopefully learn some lessons from the content that they've developed.
Yeah, well, that sounds great. So what are you guys doing at RuneFest? Are you going to be there? What are you going to do when you're there as the community team?
Absolutely, we'll be at RuneFest. We're going to be spending a load of time on the day making sure that everyone's having loads of fun. We'll be doing things like the night before party as well. More details of that are kind of coming through in dribs and drabs, but if you're wondering when the date is, it's the night before RuneFest. That's a secret tip for you there. The night before RuneFest will be on the night before RuneFest. Oh,
all the secrets are coming out now.
This is community exposed, really, really. So yeah, we'll be at RuneFest. We'll be doing the activities on the day to get skill chips. There's loads of cool things going on, and our job is to kind of make sure that everything's coordinated and that the players can get to it all and make sure they're having a great time. We're not 100% sure of the specifics, and there are a few things I know, but I'm definitely not going to...
Anything you can reveal to the players at home?
Exclusive reveals. No, I'm going to keep my lips sealed, and you'll have to keep an eye on the RuneFest website for more information.
Is that a little hidden, be sure to check this out for...
Yeah, I think what we're going to try and do in the lead up to RuneFest is write some blogs about what we're going to be doing, so everyone that's reading the website quite regularly, I think they'll be in for a few secrets, and they'll get the inside scoop on what's going on.
There you go, guys. You've heard it here first.
Yeah, that was a spoiler. Not a very good one, but
no.
There you go.
More spoilers yet to come, I guess.
I hope so.
So we've talked quite a lot about community. Let's talk a bit about you.
It's my favourite thing to talk about.
Bet it is. So what were you doing before your current role? How did you get there?
I started in the community team 2 years ago. I was working with Mod Jane and that kind of group, and initially we came in and we saw what the community team were doing in the past, and there were some really, really good foundations there. We decided that what we'd try and do is take what they'd built so far and kind of iterate on that and hopefully make some revisions. So for instance, my first project was working with the player moderator and forum moderator teams. What we decided to do was try and give them a bit more freedom. They're a really trustworthy group of people, and they really care about the game and the players. So what we wanted to do is kind of take away some of the really unnecessary rules and regulations and just make it a lot more free and malleable, if you like. I think that we've achieved that, and there's still improvements that we can make, and to make them less a police force and more a force for community good and change. But I think that's a work in progress. So
what's your overall ideal take for the community? How do you want the community to be in 3 years from now? Because you've already said how much it's changed already since you first joined. Mm-hmm. What's your future outlook for community?
Back when I started playing, I think the community was really focused on just having a great time, chatting to each other and just getting on. And as time has progressed, people have invested more time into their accounts, and understandably they're more focused on no XP waste. I think that's the kind of mentality that a lot of our players have, and that's not all of them, but a great number of our players have that kind of mentality, is efficiency-scape, if you will. For me, I'd love to see us go back to having more of a fun time, but equally I think it's really important that we cater to what players want now. So I don't want the community to change a great deal.
Yeah.
I think what is really important from my perspective is that people are just enjoying themselves individually, and I think as soon as you start having fun, that ultimately spreads to other people. And I think we, as a community team and as a company, we do a really great job of talking to the kind of core, let's say 50,000 players. That number just pulled out of nowhere, but let's say we talk to this core group. But what we need to get better at is talking to the wider community, and that's people in clans, or people who do in-game role-playing, or people that are really interested in the game's lore and history. I think they're the people we should be reaching out to more. And ultimately, I think the more people we can bring into our kind of inner circle, if you will, the more fun players will start having, because there's more people to talk to, right? The one thing I'm really keen to get people doing is talking in public chat again. I think a lot of it tends to go on in friends chats and clan chats, just because you don't have to be standing in the same group.
Yeah.
But it does kind of make the game feel a bit more empty. I love my clan, I love my friends chat, but equally I'd love to be able to have a conversation in public chat, or just see something go as I walk past. And
then you see it and you're like, oh, I want to see what they're saying.
Exactly.
Maybe I'll join in.
You want to get involved, right? So I think that's the key for me, really, is that RuneScape feels like more alive. Not that it feels dead now, because it certainly doesn't. There you can see there's thousands and thousands of players. There's so much going on. I had a chat with our data science team, and I was talking to them about how we find various phrases in chat, so we can produce reports on like trends in chat and things like that. And they were saying like millions of lines of chat every single day are sent via clan chat, via friends chat, in public chat. And there is so much going on, but it's about letting people, including new players, see that.
Yeah.
I think that's something we need to work on.
Because new players are into the game, and if nobody's talking in public chat, they might feel a bit lonely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's just getting them together with existing players and getting them to make friends.
Absolutely. I've been thinking about this adopt a noob scheme recently. I think we'll have to change the name, but you almost need like someone to take you under their wing. I remember back when I started playing I think he was about like level 80 or 90 or something, so not really a particularly high level player.
Yeah.
But he said to me, okay, if you can cut 1,000 oak logs, I'll give you 100k. And I did it. I spent hours doing it, and I thought I was an absolute baller because I had 100k, and that turns your text white because it's gone from that 99999 to 100k, and I was like, I am so rich. And and I think that kind of inspires you to play. It gives you a bit of a boost. Yeah, it does. And it's about kind of, I think the Grand Exchange has helped a lot to make the game more efficient, to make it easier. But I think in some ways it's really nice to be able to kind of encourage someone else to play, and you can kind of turn them into your assistant, if you will. Just pay them a bit of cash and say, go on, go and cut me some logs, and then you get your 99 fire making and they get 100k. It makes them feel really cool too. Yeah,
especially if they say, I've got a stronger friend who, is going to be my wingman.
Exactly. So I think there's ways that we can really get everyone involved in making the community feel more alive. So I think there's a lot of work to do.
So you've been playing since 2004, did you say? You must have a lot of really fond in-game memories. Can you share some with us and the players at home?
Yeah, I think so. I think the iconic memory for me is that guy trying to buy my 1,000 oak logs. I think that was that was quite a big thing for me back in the day. One of my fondest memories is spending, I reckon, 8 hours logged in. I think you get logged out. You used to get logged out after 6 hours, so I had to log back in.
Yeah.
And I was going to get a Dragon Defender, which took me absolutely ages, and it was one of the most annoying, grindy things ever. But again, it was about talking to people and like chatting away. You had to kill trolls or cyclopses.
Yeah.
And is that the plural of cyclops?
Cyclops.
You have to kill loads of cyclops, maybe, and answers on a postcard, people. And to get this Dragon Defender, and it took me ages. And that was like I don't know why that was so just key for me. It was. I think it was like that sigh of relief when I finally got the Dragon Defender at the end of the day.
After 8 hours.
8 hours.
Logging in and out and in and out.
I also, this is an interesting fact, I was once in Catherby. I was standing minding my own business fishing.
Yeah.
And then there's a general store just outside the bank. And I saw this guy run up to it and run away. And I was like, I wonder what he's just bought or sold. So I went over to the general store, and he had sold, this guy was a total noob clearly, because he had sold a trimmed rune plate to the general store so I could buy it for 70k, and it was worth absolutely tons in those days. And so it was an absolute steal. Thank you very much to the mysterious player that sold that in Catherby, because you made my week. Genuinely made my week.
There you go. I feel like that needs some sort of like drum roll in between the build-ups.
I love a story. I do love a story. I love to regale people with tales of RuneScape old. Everyone has RuneScape memories. I think the other one is like chasing around Zazima. Like he pops it up on his login and everyone's like, oh, he's in Draenor Village, and everyone like runs to Draenor Village. Like, didn't actually see him, but it was quite funny, it was like a bit exciting. I think a lot of my RuneScape memories actually come from watching a lot of YouTube videos as well. I remember things like RuneScape Gods Exposed by the Noob Show. That was absolutely amazing. I think that made a return recently.
I bet you were happy when it made its return.
Yeah, I was genuinely really, really happy with it. And I remember like watching videos and being able to talk to your friends in game about them. That was quite cool. I remember watching a lot of like Elf Mage PKing and stuff like that. I think those guys are really instrumental to making our community what it is today, right? So lots of machinima, lots of PKing videos. That was kind of the fundamentals of RuneScape to me. It was just, you can either be really creative with it and make up a story and make a video, and tens and maybe even hundreds of thousands of people have watched those, or you can just go very clinical, and like it feels very high stakes at sometimes when you're doing PKing and things like that. So there's those kind of two extremes, and I think that kind of really defines RuneScape for me. You can do what you want. Yeah,
you can do what you want. Speaking of doing what you want, let's move on.
That was a nice segue, Mod Sky. Well done. Well done.
So rolling back to you on the segue. There you go. What one thing have you never done before that one day you wish you could? So what's on your bucket list?
That's tricky. That is tricky. On my bucket list is to visit China. I've never ever been to China. Done Singapore, I've done places like that, and I absolutely love it. And I think China is a completely different culture, something I'd love to do.
So what would you like to do in China? Why China?
It's a completely different culture, and I think it's got a lot of history, and to me it feels kind of mysterious, and I only read about it in the news and things like that, and I'd love to see what it's actually like, because I think they clearly have a very different way of doing things than we have over here, and that fascinates me.
I think it would be very interesting, actually.
I'd like to walk along the Great Wall as well. It's a long walk, but still probably worth it.
Take you a while. What's your favourite movie?
Gladiator.
Nice. Russell Crowe.
He's such a badass.
He is great.
He kills the Emperor, but he's already been stabbed.
Yeah.
What a cool
Even
guy.
all through that.
I know. Such a legend.
What are your favourite games?
Clearly, I love RuneScape. Been playing since 2004, so it's a big part of my life. But equally, I think right now I'm playing a lot of Grand Theft Auto 5. I am also playing stuff like Civ 5, stuff like that.
What's your favourite in-game item?
That is a tricky question.
Yep.
That is a real tricky question. I quite like just because I have fond memories of it, that green elegant outfit. It's totally legend.
I thought you were going to say oak logs for a second.
No, that was good. That's great memories. That brings back the feels. But yeah, green elegant. That's what I think that cost me like $2 million. Crazy money. Yeah. It's a treasure trail reward. And yeah, I remember feeling like a total badass when I bought it.
What's your favourite food? My
favourite food is probably twirls.
In the whole entire world, you can pick anything in the world?
Yeah, twirls. Like, I have one at 3 o'clock every single day.
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I absolutely love them. They cost 70 pence from the vending machine, and they are well worth it.
Favourite word?
I don't really have a favourite word. Reckless, I think, is a good one.
Reckless. That is a good one. I like that word. What's your favourite planet?
Planet?
Planet.
As in like
you can't pick like Pluto now.
Like an entity in space, you mean?
Any planet.
I guess it would be Mars, because there's a chocolate named after it. Or no, galaxy isn't a planet, is it?
I just love how you're very chocolate oriented.
Yeah, I think there's a recurring theme here. This is community exposed. It's just driven by chocolate. To get on Mod Balance's good side, get him chocolate. Twirls. Twirls are a must. Let's move away from chocolate, otherwise we're going to be here all day. What's your favourite animal? In line with our support of WWF, I have to say I'm a fan of all big cats. Please give generously. But I think my favourite animal is quite specific, but I like a brown kitten. I think they're really cute, brown kittens. Have you got any animals? I had a fish, but I released it into the pond because it required cleaning and I didn't really have time. And I also had a hamster. So you've never had a cat? No. Oh, you need to get a brown kitten. Yeah, but they grow up into cats and then they're not my favourite animal anymore. That's the problem, because I can think of plenty of things I prefer over a brown cat, but a brown kitten, that's just the cutest. Okay, there you go. What's your favourite colour? Green. What's your favourite city? My favourite city, I thought New York was really cool. Yep. But my favourite city in the world, I think, is Rome. Okay, tell us why. When I visited Rome, I think it was really sunny on some days when I went and did the kind of touristy things. So I went to the Colosseum and it was really hot, and then I was in the inner city and it was really cold, and it felt massive and sprawling, and it had elements of really modern and elements of ancient history that literally you read about in the history books and learn about in school, right? So to me it was that kind of juxtaposition that was really cool. I don't think you get that in many cities. Like London is old, but not as old, and it doesn't have that same identity. It just feels it kind of feels like a faceless city in a way. But Rome is, I think it's very...
So historic.
Yeah, I think you can really tell that you're in Rome.
You can really tell that you're in Rome. Mm-hmm. Official quote, Mod Balance 2015.
When you're in Rome, you know you're in Rome. Mod Balance 2015.
Brilliant. All right, that's the end of this week's podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm Mod Sky, and I was joined by Mod Balance.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.